For analysis, let's bring in Meir Javedanfar. He's an Iran and Middle East lecturer at Reichman University in Tel Aviv. Thanks so much for joining us on the program. Now, to state the obvious, this is a very different to the confrontations Israel and Hamas have had since the militant group took over Gaza in 2007. Both sides are in unknown territory, aren't they?
Correct. Israel was not prepared for such a massive attack. We did not see it coming. Not only was the intelligence failure, but also the concept, the belief in Israel was that Hamas would not risk a war, bringing war upon the people of Gaza by attacking Israel. We believe that Hamas was more concerned about developing Gaza's economy, was concerned, it wanted to send Gazans to work in Israel. Let's not forget there are 18,000 Gazans who have work permits in the state of Israel. They come, they work, and they inject the Gaza economy with something like $2 million a day. So we believe that despite being a vehemently anti-Israeli organization, Hamas had moderated, and Hamas was more interested in developing and stabilizing the economic situation for the people in Gaza, and that turned out to be wrong, and we were caught by surprise. And this is really uncharted territory. Israel has never lost such a large number of civilians since the Holocaust. This is the largest number of civilians Jews killed since the Holocaust. We are in shock, but the country is on war footing. We have 300,000 people in uniform. And there's also concern that the war could break out also with Hezbollah in the north.
But tensions have been rising between Israel and Hamas for some time, especially in the last few months. What would you say, if you say it's such a surprise, what would you say is behind it?
There is this belief that Hamas, who is aligned with the Islamic Republic of Iran, does not want to see rapprochement between Israel and Saudi Arabia. Let's not forget that during the last two weeks, there were at least three Israeli ministers who visited Saudi Arabia, participating in different conferences in Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman said that there are negotiations taking place, he said to Fox News, with Israel, with American mediation. Those negotiations are, they're making progress every day. And both Hamas and the Islamic Republic of Iran do not want to see this happen because they want to see isolated. They do not believe in other countries having peace with Israel. Let's not forget that both Hamas and the Islamic Republic of Iran, their ideology calls for the destruction of the state of Israel. In order to stop this, I think Hamas, this is one of the major reasons why Hamas started this war. And it's not unprecedented. Before other countries have attacked Israel in order to create divisions in the Middle East, during the 1990 war to liberate Kuwait, in order to bring more countries on the side of Iraq against America, Saddam Hussein fired missiles at Israel, Scuds, in order to bring more countries on his side against America, because he could then say America's supporting Israel. But Israel did not respond because the casualties were very low from the Scud missiles. But in this case, the casualties are tremendously high.
With Hezbollah, the Iranian-backed Lebanese militia, just on the other side of the fence, what are the prospects of a two-front war then?
I think they exist. Let's hope they don't happen, but hoping is not enough. I think they are increasing. Today, Hezbollah lost, I think, 5 or 6 of its soldiers who came into Israeli territory. And also 6 Israeli soldiers have been injured. And look, both Hezbollah and Hamas see Israel as weak right now because of the massive gulf that has been created in Israeli society because of Netanyahu's judicial reform. And now they've stepped into the ring, and it's very difficult for them to step out. Because they took a risk, Hamas took a risk, and now Hamas is facing a serious danger. And Hezbollah feels that if it leaves Hamas alone, then its own credibility and the credibility of the Islamic Republic of Iran might come under question. So they are also slowly becoming involved. I hope the situation is contained, but But in the Middle East, you always have to prepare for the worst.
So what solutions are there? Talk about what Iran might want from this conflict. Is it in pursuit of wiping Israel off the map? And how can other regional players like Saudi Arabia, with efforts like the Arab Peace Initiative, albeit from 21 years ago, counteract this influence?
The Islamic Republic of Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei has denied the Holocaust. I mean, he's a Holocaust denier. Of course, the majority of the people of Iran want peace between Israelis and Palestinians, but the leadership in Iran is vehemently anti-Israel, and it wants to see Israel always in a state of war, isolated in the Middle East, no country making peace with it. And the fact that the UAE and Bahrain made peace with Israel really concerned the Islamic Republic of Iran. So I hope by the end of this, we can go back to talking with the Saudis, but this is not going to be an easy war. With almost 1,000 Israelis dead, some Israelis were raped before they were killed, and some women have been taken away, children were taken away. I mean, this is the stuff that ISIS does. It's going to be difficult for Israel not to retaliate, and there's going to be a war in Gaza, unfortunately, but there's no other way. And this could create a tactical delay in talks between Israel and Saudi Arabia. Whether in the future, maybe in a year or 2 years' time, those talks will be picked up, I think they will, because the Saudis are also concerned about the influence of Islamic Republic of Iran in this region. But for now, the priority of Israel is going to be the security challenges it faces, and with Israel confronting so many groups and Israel being involved in Gaza, the Saudis are not going to want to talk for the time being. So I think
if talks with Saudi Arabia meant a two-state solution, is that something that Israel would consider?
It's a very good question. I think, from what I understand, they wanted steps to be taken towards a two-state solution. But they didn't want a two-state solution as a precondition, but they wanted Israel to make two-state solution. Would Mr. Netanyahu take those steps with such a right-wing, with such an extremist government? He was preparing. I'm not sure he would have done it. I would be lying to you if I say, yes, definitely he was going to do it. But he was considering it. But this is all now torpedoed. And to be honest with you, and I have to say this with a heavy heart, because I've always supported the establishment of a Palestinian state next to Israel, the idea that Gaza and the Hamas will belong to an independent state is over. It's going to be buried alongside those 1,000 Israelis. Nobody in Israel is going to accept that. A provisional Palestinian state in the West Bank with a strong economy, with a strong local security forces, yes, that could happen. But what Hamas has done has made the idea that a Hamas-ruled Gaza could belong to an independent state of Palestine next to Israel, it makes it look impossible based on Hamas's ideology and what it did with that ideology when it went to kibbutzim and to all these Israeli homes and massacred innocent Israelis.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Really appreciate your time. Meir Javedanfar, lecturer in Middle East and Iran politics at Reichman University in Tel Aviv.